Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Reactor, and in my last video, I tried explaining why the commentary community should shut up about this Slazo guy. After making that video where I did my best to explain why it's a bad idea to have an opinion on this matter, the cancellation party continues forward. Turkey Tom, for example, released a video the very next day, and some kid by the name of Mystic Horse made a video twisting my words and completely missing the mark to claim that my video was saying Slazo was guilty. That's not what I was saying in the video, but if that's your conclusion from it, all I can do is suggest you watch the video. Seriously, one of this guy's arguments was that he could beat me in chess.
Bruh, I could whoop your ass in chess, come on, bruh.
If you're interested in 16 minutes of incoherent screeching, I suggest you check out his video. We have Augie RFC, who made a live stream harassing someone and suggesting this tweet they made is a publicity stunt, while others completely failed to acknowledge my message due to a combination of them thinking my channel is satirical and not understanding the definition of satire. Hey blowbacks, if you really think this is satire, go look up the definition. I tried making it as concise as possible, but I always knew that some people would just reinforce their mental wall of bias. The worst thing about all of this is that my campaign is still under boycott. Look at this, it's still only at $100. I would have had $10,000 by now if it wasn't for the stupid drama community. People are obviously still boycotting my campaign, and it's 100% their fault. All I want to do is go back to making videos promoting my cooler, but they won't let me. So in this video, I'm going to do my best to show them for what they really are. I tried so hard in my last video to make it clear to the drama community that they should stop promoting the allegations against Slazo. But if they have to, Turkey Tom and Kavos should be making videos attacking the accuser for not being able to prove her allegations and not the people who supported her. If they're so sure that she lied and are so adamant about stopping injustice, she would be the main focus of their outrage. But instead, their videos conveniently focus on name-dropping people. Like I tried to explain in my previous video, an intelligent person would remain neutral in this. There is no evidence supporting one side or the other. This is literally teenage relationship drama, and they're all only hurting Slazo by constantly pumping out videos highlighting the allegations against him. What they're either ignoring or don't understand is that even if they could prove she was lying, her supporters are only guilty of believing her. Attacking her supporters for trying to help her is not a good strategy. The main point I want you to understand here is that the only thing Alex and others are guilty of in this specific situation is supporting their friend who told them she was abused. Nothing else is relevant in regards to her supporters. Even if Fizzipop was miraculously proven to have lied about her perceived experience with Slazo, it would only prove that her supporters were lied to, and they would just be another casualty of her lie. But the hot take community doesn't care and drags them all through the mud in an attempt to get more views. They've harassed them so much lately that now one of her supporters has attempted to take their own life. But hey, at least Turkey Tom, who led the charge, gained 20,000 subscribers from it. Kudos to him for delisting his videos after he found out how far he had pushed her. He probably took the videos down because in his first one, he knowingly fed misinformation by saying that she abuses animals.
Hyojin is extremely manipulative, and she would pick up this person's dog and drop it on its back because she found it funny.
This is a fallacious argumentative strategy called an ad hominem, where a person attacks their opponent's character rather than attacking their position. It was later discovered with this message that this was in fact not true. Basically, someone who was there said this. He says he was there, and calling it abuse is an exaggeration of what actually happened. If Tom's cloud of judgment is so pristine, I'm sure he'll make an apology. In his newest video, he straight up lies, claiming he thinks his disclaimer would stop anybody from harassing her.
You gotta love how she subtly plays the victim here as if I am the reason that she's getting these comments, when I explicitly said not to harass anyone that I mentioned in the video.
I mean, maybe he didn't lie, but it's either that or he's not smart enough to realize his disclaimer isn't going to stop the outrage mob that his videos are creating. If I had to summarize his videos in one sentence, it would probably be, hey everybody, don't harass these people, but here's why you should. Then we have Augie RFC, who decided it was a good idea to do a live stream criticizing this person for her recent actions. At one point during the stream, he reads a tweet that Slazo made the night before saying this.
Dropping in to reiterate, please don't harass anybody involved with my situation. Guilt by association is dumb, and I think most involved were just trying to help a close friend.
And then immediately after that, denies responsibility and defends the harassment campaign against her. It's a little incoherent, but he says the illness isn't put on the people that were criticizing her. They are now not responsible for her mental health.
The onus isn't put on the people that were criticizing her. They are now not responsible for her mental health. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difficulty there.
It's the worst attempt at avoiding responsibility that I have ever seen. He might as well have said depression is a disease, and we can't give her a disease by harassing her. It's crazy. Everything these people say is just digging them deeper. Here's a clip of him saying he has doubts and speculates she only did it as a stunt.
I have speculations. I have doubts. But that doesn't mean I'm just gonna say 100%, this is fake, guys, she's pulling a stunt.
How does anyone actually agree with these people? If this was about justice for Slazo, wouldn't they have stopped milking the drama after he told them to stop? Wouldn't they have stopped harassing this person after he told them to stop? They obviously don't care about justice. The YouTube hot take community works a lot like the mainstream media does nowadays. One of the reasons fake news is so prevalent today is that thousands of news sites are competing to get their version of the story out first. If you pay attention to the community, you'll see that they're always chasing the latest allegations. And 99% of the time, their videos are hot takes, misinformed compilations of opinions that are only made to acquire more views. And whoever makes the best hot take gets the most views. They have no problem with destroying someone's livelihood or attacking alleged victims if it gives them the chance to catch the algorithm by the coattails and take it for a ride, which is actually what got them into this situation in the first place. Drama sells, and attacking other YouTubers sells even better. The hot take community is like the sewer dwellers of YouTube, gathering negativity from across the platform so they can regurgitate it into the mouths of their audience like a mother bird to their hungry hatchlings. They aren't entirely to blame though. Their existence is the result of the psychological human nature of wanting to be entertained by stories of other people's misfortunes. There's a feeling of comfort that comes along with hearing other people are a lot worse off than we are. To put it simply, people think it's entertaining to watch someone get bullied. And considering so many people aren't talented enough to entertain with original content, these people entertain the only way they know how, by attacking people. Look at Kavos, for example. Can you imagine him making original content? He's built an entire career by name-dropping people and then yelling about them. Sneeze in the wrong direction and Kavos will rant about you like an incoherent psychopath for over 10 minutes if your subscriber count is high enough. The members of the outrage community are like the monsters from Monsters Inc., attacking people so they could harvest some sort of power from them. Congratulations to all of you who wanted to be the opposite side of the same coin as Carlos Maza, if that's what you wanted. I think it's strange that the community that pretends to be self-aware enough to disapprove of cancellation parties has now become the party that is yelling for people to be canceled. I personally don't think it works that way. Either nobody deserves to be canceled for any reason, or everybody deserves to be canceled for some reason. You can't have it both ways. And if you're holding a torch or a pitchfork, take a look in the mirror because you're one of the bad guys.
Are we the baddies?
It blows my mind that all it took for the outrage mob was for Slazo to make a storytime video saying, "Nuh-uh, she's lying." If that's all it took to change their mind, why did they join the mob in the first place? I'm sure it's because they're all embarrassed, but that only means they should retire their pitchforks and stop acting so spontaneously. The hot take community is currently taking part in one of the most ridiculous campaigns I've ever seen. They're all milking Slazo's misfortune for views. I know this is par for the course with any outrage mob, but is anything off limits to these people? I really tried my best to bring them back to reality with my previous video, but some people are just too disconnected. Even after making what I believe to be a logical explanation of why it's a bad idea to attack alleged victims or their supporters, they keep moving forward. At the very least, it should be obvious that it's a bad idea to attack the supporters of an alleged victim, but in case it isn't, let me elaborate. If someone lies about being a victim, their supporters are not guilty of the same lie. In this case, they would be victims of the lie, just like anyone else. But for some reason, the YouTube outrage mob community sees nothing wrong with harassing them. They don't seem to care that by attacking people for supporting someone, they're creating an atmosphere where people will be afraid to support actual victims. Like I mentioned earlier, they've even gone as far as harassing someone into attempting to take their own life simply for supporting their friend. But hey, the drama continues, and now they can make a video about that too. It's no accident that these videos are focusing on the accuser's most popular supporters and make few attempts at mentioning the actual accuser. They don't care about name-dropping someone who has no influence. They want to name drop the most popular people they can, because the truth is these attack videos have little to do with what's right or wrong, and everything to do with milking the most views out of a situation. Don't get me wrong though, I am 100% against people making false allegations. And that's why I'm saying, stay neutral. If they're all so sure she's lying, and think they're so brave, why don't they harass the alleged victim into apologizing? If they all truly think they're correct, they would have no problem publicly shaming an alleged victim while the entire world watches. And if they harass the root of the allegations into apologizing, the rest of the dominoes would follow, wouldn't they? My personal opinion is that they're all too unsure of themselves and cowardly to go this far. That's why I believe nobody should choose a side in this type of situation except for the people directly involved. At the very least, stop creating an atmosphere where people will be afraid to support victims. Victims are real, and if you consistently attack their supporters, you're only creating a world where victims get no support. There is nothing good that can come from attacking the people who are only trying to support the alleged victims. If you really want to make a difference, maybe try doing something to quell the outrage mobs. In the movie Monsters, Inc., the monsters harvested power by terrorizing children. This movie could make a great analogy for the YouTube drama community. As it is, all these people are making content that elicits negative emotions from people in an attempt to extract some sort of power from them. They're using pain, conflict, and hate as a way to attract viewers. But what the monsters figure out at the end of the movie is that happiness and laughter is a much more potent sense of power. They don't have to manufacture negativity to get people to listen to them. They don't have to risk their careers by making uninformed hot takes and attacking people. They don't have to create hate to entertain people. There are tons of videos that have done well on the platform without creating hate. Name-dropping YouTubers is a great way to get people to watch your videos. I understand that, but they could just as easily make videos about these people where they approach them with a positive attitude. If you think someone on the platform did something wrong, make videos about them explaining why you think they're wrong and give them examples of how they could be better. You aren't making the world a better place by creating a hostile environment. I understand that some channels like Cabos or Drama Alert are incapable of making entertaining content without attacking people. Drama Alert doesn't really have the option to highlight positivity or entertain people without hurting others. The word drama in its essence refers to conflict. Keemstar's channel is basically a funnel that consolidates conflicts from across the platform and then serves it to his audience like a starving army of goblins who get their sustenance from hate, cruelty, and misfortune. It also doesn't help that he actively uses his position of power to manipulate information. Keem is really no different than Carlos Maza in this sense. Anybody who's pushing the theory that Alex conspired with people to frame Slazo is literally a conspiracy theorist. In this tweet that Keemstar made, it shows leaked DMs between Alex and the person who probably leaked the DMs. Notice how it begins with Alex talking about people who have positions of power and blatantly make stuff up. I think it's hilarious that Keemstar unironically used this image to blatantly make something up. Keemstar posted this image with a message claiming it was proof that Alex plotted to frame Slazo. No intelligent person could extract that meaning from this DM. He's twisting the narrative on purpose to convince his audience that Alex was plotting to frame Slazo. And the sad part is that it actually is that easy to manipulate people. He is 100% lying in this tweet when he claims that it's proof Alex is doing this. These messages provide nothing to prove that Alex was plotting to frame someone. I'm sure Keem is smart enough to understand that, but I'm also sure that he knows his audience is very suggestible. If you think I'm wrong, you're an idiot. The best argument you could make against this is that Keem is an idiot. It could be argued that Keem mistakenly misinterpreted Alex's words, but I think that's unlikely considering he openly admits his hate for Alex. To me, this proves malicious intent, which means that Keem is literally a person in power who blatantly makes stuff up. This would also imply that Keem is the type of person that Alex is saying he wants to axe from a position of power. So I'm sure Keem sees this as a personal attack against him. Basically, in this leaked DM, Alex admits to trying to axe Keem from his position of power, which in my opinion would give Keem good reason to hate Alex, but that is no reason to blatantly lie about something. In summary, the YouTube hot take outrage mob drama community is attacking people for supporting an alleged victim. This latest conflict is a perfect example of the problems this community creates. Like I said in my previous video, if it was proven that FizzyPop plotted a hoax against Slazo, then by all means harass her. But it wasn't proven, and at the very most, Slazo created reasonable doubt. If they all cared so much about injustice, every single one of their videos would feature her as the main subject. But they don't, and to me, this proves that they don't actually care about justice. By attacking her supporters, they are all creating an atmosphere where people will be afraid to support victims for fear of them being painted as a liar and them getting in trouble. If someone lies about being a victim, they are guilty of slander, and anyone who supports them is a victim of the lie just like anyone else who believed it. Attacking their supporters is no different than attacking an actual victim. If you're all truly this outraged by the claims against Slazo, you have to nip them in the bud by publicly harassing the alleged victim who is the root of the claims. If you are all too cowardly and unsure of yourselves to do this, then sit down and shut up. It's been claimed in response to my previous video that Alex did use the R word in private. Even if this could be proven, the only thing it shows is that this is Alex's personal opinion of the guy. Alex has consistently kept that opinion out of the public, and it's only Alex's opponents who are making this information public. Slazo's defenders aren't doing him any favors by releasing this type of information to the public. He would have been much better off if nobody knew Alex's private opinion of him. If they actually wanted to clear Slazo's name, they wouldn't have done a video call with Alex trying to get him to say worse things about Slazo. Doing this would get you a lot of views, but it actually makes things a whole lot worse, and this highlights the idea that these videos being made about Slazo aren't actually trying to help him and are simply a way to milk views out of his situation. If they all really believe that Slazo has suffered an injustice, they wouldn't be making his situation worse in their quest for YouTube ad revenue. Alex knows the guy personally and has a right to his own opinion, So if it's true that he used that word to describe Slazo, he obviously understands that it should be kept out of the public forum. But he didn't publicize that information. Slazo's supposed defense team did. I am 100% against people making false allegations, but unless they can be proven false, at the very least it's a bad idea to harass them. The YouTube hot take community feeds off this negativity, and I think it's a hellish atmosphere they're creating. I don't think it's a bad thing to call people out when they're wrong, but there's a better way to go about things than harassing and attacking them. Convincing your audience to grab pitchforks and host a cancellation party is not the right way to go about this. If they made their videos by respectfully disagreeing or pointing out the error in their ways, the people they're targeting will be a lot more receptive to their criticism. By attacking them, they're only forcing them to put a mental wall up in front of the criticism, and destroys any possibility of them understanding or agreeing with the criticism. Making positive content has a lot more potential than making content that focuses on highlighting poisonous garbage. But if the situation requires you to highlight trash, do it in a way that could positively affect the situation. Harassing people to the point of them attempting to take their own life is not something anyone should be doing. Slazo literally said, "Please don't harass anyone involved with my situation. Guilt by association is dumb, and I think most people involved were just trying to help a close friend." It's over. Slazo agrees with me. You can no longer milk this situation for views while pretending to hold the high ground. And I think you should all publicly apologize to Slazo for not doing what he asked. After everything I've said, the most important point I want all of you to take from this video is that the Culero is a genius invention and there's really no reason to keep boycotting it anymore. To summarize my summary, the drama community is toxic. To stop allegations against Slazo, they should attack the source, but they don't. Instead, they attack other people. They're promoting Alex's private opinion. They aren't helping Slazo by promoting worse allegations. They aren't helping Slazo by constantly promoting allegations. Outrage mobs, bad. Positive content, good. Slazo said stop. Boycotts, bad.